Greetings, my name is Bong with Phuong. This year I am a student at Phuong High School. I'm in grade 10, class 10-17. I am 15 this year and I'm a biology enthusiast. My dream is to become an environmental engineer. Well, someone has got to clean up all the mess left by polluting industries across the world and in Vietnam. And an extremely important subject to be studied is biology. And one of the core foundations of biology is the tree of life. But that is where the problems usually start, because there are so many different ways to categorize and classify the tree of life. It becomes really difficult for the student to understand completely. An example, the 1969 Viet model, which is currently in use in Vietnam, the three-domain system in 1990 by Watson, the Cavalier-Smith 1998, and the much more recent 2015 model by Ruggiero. Each of them is different and can be interpreted, understood differently. And as students in Vietnam, we usually had this glossed over by a lot. So we have to research it by ourselves. And this is my research on it, my understanding, my interpretation on the tree of life. Of course, due to the limited time, I will only talk about the prokaryotic empire, most of it in this video. First, the foundation of the tree of life is, as the name suggests, life itself. Life means all organisms that are living, all that are capable of producing energy by themselves and reproduce by themselves and evolve accordingly to the environment, which means that it excludes virus and other virions like that, because they lack a criteria that they cannot reproduce by themselves. So, life is very diverse. Life existed for millions of years, and life never stays in one place. It evolves. It just grows on its own. It grows, it evolves, and it gets better adapting to the environment and others. Life, is then divided into two major empires: the prokaryotic empire and the eukaryotic empire. Which today in this video, as I have said, due to very much limited time, we will only focus onto the prokaryotic empire. As the name suggests, the prokaryotic empire composed of all organisms that are prokaryotic in nature, which all of them are single-celled organisms. They share all of them share one thing in common, that they are prokaryotic, which means that they have got no inner cell or nails. They have no membrane-bound organelles. They don't have mitochondria. They don't have Golgi apparatus. They don't even have a nucleus, which is essentially their brain, which they can be said to be dumb-witted brainless. Instead, they have something called nucleoids, which are basically free stranding floating strandings things inside the cell. Let's on it. This is like a proto-nucleus. It is essentially a nucleus without a protein membrane, well, covering or without much ribosomes. It's free floating within the cytoplasm. The prokaryotic empire can be called the most primitive and basic, but the most essential life form in existence. They form the basis of everything. They evolved into us. And they are also the most successful empire ever existing. They can be found literally everywhere. The air we breathe, inside our body, in the water, in the ground, everywhere. Some of them are even found in acid drainage and volcanic hot springs, which are extremely hot and, well, mostly lethal to most. They can be found in almost all environments. Space is not really confirmed, but some of them have traces in there that are not really confirmed though. The prokaryotic empire is further divided into two more kingdoms. The bacterial kingdom and the archaeal kingdom. And archaeal. It is divided into the bacterial kingdom and the archaeal kingdom. First, the bacterial kingdom. The bacterial kingdom is composed of, as I have said, single-celled prokaryotic organisms. Their size usually, well, they are very diverse. I forgot to say that, but I have repeated it. They are very, very diverse. Their size usually ranges from 0.5 to 5 nanometers, which is extremely small, must I say. Although there are many bacteria with much larger or smaller size, exceeding the bounds of upper bound in existence. And usually, bacteria are usually in a spherical shape, like a sphere. This is not really rounded. That they might do like this, or they can usually be rock-like, like this. Hence the name bacterial, which literally translates to rock-like in Greek. Although there are also much more diverse forms. Chain-like, they may form chain, they may form spiral cords, and, well, other things similar to that. They are very, very diverse, as I have repeatedly said. They are the most basic and essential life form in existence, and thus they have multiple ways to sustain themselves. An example, let me erase the board first by a bit to save the space. First, they can be autotrophs. Autotrophs, chemotrophs, or heterotrophs, if I remember the name correctly. I didn't really write it down. As the name suggests, autotroph means they can sustain in and by themselves, which usually leads to using sunlight as a main sustenance. Chemotroph, they are able to, well, break down chemicals and use chemical reaction as a fuel source for their living. And heterotroph, which means they must hunt down others and ingest other down and go for, it depends on the one question, but they are predators. They are like, this is like the plants and fungi of the bacterial kingdom, which is really not really good, well, the way you say it, but which works. And also the heterotroph kingdom comes with this is pathogenic, parasitic prokaryotics and bacteria, which is not really good for us humans, but they are essential in keeping the balance of nature. Bacterials, they are asexual in nature, which means that they can only reproduce through, asexual means. They are cloning themselves compared to us, which are breeding ourselves. Let me erase the board after this. Usually, a bacteria undergoes fragmentation or binary fission. A binary fission is something similar to this. A bacterial, it multiplies it nucleoids by 2, and the thing divided into 2 parts of the cell, and then it forms a cell wall in between, and then it just fluff off like this. From one giant daddy comes to 2 smaller ones, 2 smaller children. They reproduce asexually, as I have continuously repeated. Or it might also be fragmentation, which means the cell further divided to much smaller but much more numerous ones. The kingdom of bacteria is very diverse. So it is further divided into 2 more subgroups, which are gram-negative and gram-positive. Gram is the form of testing dye chemical, if I remember correctly, testing agent. It shows up on, as I've said, gram-positive ones have, the dye itself showing up in the inner membrane wall, because they got no outer membrane wall. And the gram-negative, they have got an outer membrane wall. Gram-positive and gram-negative. Gram-negative. Let me rephrase it in a better way. A gram-positive bacterial have got no outer membrane wall. It's like a second cell wall that is used to keep the bacteria protected and in shape. The gram agent will react with the inner membrane wall without having to pass through the outer, because there are no outer wall. So the dye will show up. But in this one, the dye is stopped by the outer wall. So it is negative. Let's continue. The bacterial kingdom plays an essential part in the ecosystem. First, that is they are the first link in the food chain. They reduce chemical agents into nutrients, ATP and viable nutrients for the larger organism to use. They gather sunlight and turn it into usable energy for us. And they are also the primary decomposer of the environment. One of the primary ones, actually, fungus is the other one. They help in decomposing all of the dead nutrients, dead biomass. They help to degrade it into more viable nutrients for the environment. And they are also heterotrophs and pathogenic in nature, which means that even though they are very harmful to humans and animals alike, and plants alike too, but they help to keep some of the animals' population in check without having them to reproducing the entire ecosystem, maximum niche capacity. And it is because of the material which we are here today. Because if the cyanobacteria, if they did not be the first one to photosynthesis, there wouldn't be enough oxygen for all of us to exist nowadays. All of us much larger organisms than these bacteria. And next, we have the archaeal kingdom. They are very, and I mean very similar to the bacterial kingdom. So much that they were once thought to be a subgroup in the bacterial kingdom. But due to quite, not that quite, still like couple dozen years ago, thanks to DNA testing technology, we have found out that there are actually two different kingdoms, two different species group altogether. Because the archaeal kingdom, aka also known as the ancient bacteria, which is still the debate, they, instead of having the normal membrane cell wall of bacteria and all other life forms, they have something very unique. It is called an ether lipid cell wall. The ether lipid cell wall is much more durable and tough and well, just better in every form compared to any other normal cell wall, which grants them a very good immunity, not really immunity, but immunity to many toxics excreted to the environment by competing organisms. But it also helps them to survive in extremely harsh conditions. They are found in acid drainage, volcanic hot spring and Yellowstone, and much more similar places. They are like the white sheep, but they are also the white sheep of the prokaryotic empire. Not really, because all the good and bad. But these guys are exclusive in one part, that they are all mutualists or commensals, which means that they don't harm directly and usually indirectly and usually not indirectly. They usually don't harm any other organism. They coexist with everything else, which is extremely good for us, because there has been no true cure, no true medicine that can effectively kill off the archaeal organisms, because they're just too tough of a burger to die. That will be about it today, as this is the end of the prokaryotic empire. Just maybe we will focus onto the prokaryotic empire video next time. Goodbye and see you again.